So today was a long day, um, but I was able to have some great conversations with the Qs and Empire Building and stuff like that. And then I end up not even like what an hour ago. What it's like? What time is it now? It's like let me see, it is 3:25. Yeah, so like around like 2:30. Having another discussion with some of the people in the Black conscious and spiritual community, right? And they was like talking to me about divine masculine because they feel like I need to have divine masculine energy, right? And I always get wary of these dudes that should tell me what I should have and everything like that. So I just listen to them explain what it is. And before that, they was like talking to me about words, the power of words, because they said I'm a writer and they see me being so electric and revolutionary and the things that I say about people, and they feel like I attack people, and I tear down people, whatever it may be, like that. That's their belief system. Which actually, what it is um, it's just retribution for me being attacked and me just pointing out truths and things like that. Because I'm more empirical than spiritual, right? You know what I'm saying? So they don't understand that about me. And anyway, he started going on about this divine masculine energy shit right there, right? So I was like, all right, listening to him tell me about words, right? Because I know about words. I know about the power of words. You could say I love you to somebody. You could say I hate you. You could say like I dislike you. Those words, make you feel a certain kind of way. It affects your emotions and feelings. Um, Also, words is like they say spelling, right? So they believe that words could put spells on you, right? So I kind of believe that too as well. You know what I mean? Words could put spells on you. If you tell somebody they ain't shit for a long time, I'm sure they'll start thinking they ain't shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So when he's explaining to, after you get done with the divine masculine, so I was like, okay, let's break it down. Like, let's go to the word divine masculine. Like, where is the source of it? Who created the fucking word? Because this dude is like some um African pro-black, take it back to Africa, African spirituality dude telling me to go back to the homeland, and I'm not in touch with the ancestors and all that type of shit. That type of dude, right? If y'all know what I'm talking about, like really hardcore with that shit. So I'm like, all right, so let's go back to the source of divine masculine. Like, who created that word, right? Who invented the word? And the people that invented the word were not, yeah, it wasn't a specific person, but it was found in text, in Greek text, it was found in Hinduism, and it was found in Christianity, but it was never found in no African text at all. That was kind of surprising to me. And then I was like looking at the word God, you know what I mean? Because divine masculine, it means like the father in the sky type of thing. It means more like you're godly and shit of the universe type of thing. So I'm like looking at the word God, and I'm like, okay, the word God wasn't created by Africans. That word God was created by Anglo Saxons, like that Germanic tribe back in them days. They created that word God, and the word the word God in Africa is Chi. Well, at least it is in Igbo tribe, right? I know some people that's in the Igbo tribe, and they told me Chi is the word for God. So this dude ain't even using African language to describe certain things, right? So it just become a problem with me because I'm like, okay, when we look at Christianity, like what I mean, he knows that the white people came down there and colonized Africa. So I'm telling this dude, I was like, okay, so if you're telling me about all these African gods and all these African goddesses and things like that, and you're a descendant of that, right? What happened about the people that were before you? Why the fuck they didn't stop those fucking white humans, right, from coming down to Africa and colonizing the whole motherfucking continent? Where was these black guys at? Why didn't he show up and battle these people? Why didn't he kill those people? Why didn't he eliminate them people? Why did Africa, the whole continent, be colonized with Christianity and that Bible? Right? So he could answer that. He started getting upset. He started getting mad. And I think that's really like valid and shit. Like, cause I keep hearing this black god and black goddesses, but they don't have no power. It's just words that don't really mean shit, really. Like, it mean, okay, I can't say that. It means shit to them, right? But it doesn't have no power. You can't stop anything. Like, African spirituality back in them days cannot stop an army from coming down there and killing all them people to colonize Africa. All that African God talk, and that's the fucking motherland. That's where that shit was supposed to originate at. So all the aura and the energy of the African gods and the ancestors and all that type of shit could not stop them fucking white people from going down there doing what they did. So that just let me know they don't have any power. That's just factual, right? And then it's just like, and then this other dude who was talking shit to me about being divine masculine, right, like that. He smoked Black and Miles every day, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, you're divine and masculine male, but you're smoking tobacco, dude. And he's another dude who's all into this African spirituality and his go back to Africa and the melanated people and all that type of stuff, right? Which is nothing wrong with it, but let's just make sense of the situation. Like, you're smoking Black and Miles, right? And that tobacco was not created by black people. Actually, that tobacco kills black people, right? It gives them cancer, right? So it kills black people. Also, what's crazy is that this dude is from the islands. I think he's from like where are you from? Me from they say his people is from the Virgin Islands. He ain't from the Virgin Islands. He's from somewhere else. But his people is from the Virgin Islands. So I'm saying to myself, like, your people used to be slaves, dude, and they used to do that shit, dude. Like fucking handle the tobacco down there, dude. All those Virgin Island people and shit like that, and a lot of different other African people and black people were enslaved so they could go ahead and handle that tobacco farms and shit like that for them white people. So, but it is like when you say divine masculine, like, shouldn't you have some type of discipline? Like, how can you call yourself a divine masculine male and you're killing your own self every day? You're not even smart enough to be able to look at a package and be able to say, like, you know what I'm taking into my body is killing me. I need to stop. You're not even smart enough to stop that shit. The white man's tobacco is in your lungs every day, and you cannot stop that from happening. And you're calling me, and you're telling me that you're a god. And you're calling me saying that I should be a god like you. Fuck no, I'm not being no god like you. That shit don't make any sense. If I'm calling myself something and it's causing me to kill my own self, I am not calling myself that shit ever in life. These dudes talk about divine masculine. And it's like, I'm thinking, like, aren't you supposed to be helping your people? Like, a lot of these dudes that call themselves that, they be like in the jungles and shit. Like this one dude, I don't remember that. He went to Africa, whatever. He think because he went to Africa, he African now. Like, it's a lot of these dudes that be sitting, they be sitting next to a banana tree. And they be like, I'm sitting towards a banana tree, so I have supreme knowledge over the world. Or they picked up some knowledge that they stole from European people. None of the stuff that they talking about originated from Africa. None of that text that they talk about, none of the knowledge that they preaching to other people, all that shit is coming back from white people. And it's crazy to me. Anytime I hear one of them dudes quote some shit out the Bible, dude, I just go fucking insane. I'm like, you're gonna quote something out the Bible. You're gonna practice something out the Bible when that Bible was used to colonize the motherland where you say your people from. Listen, if I was a tribal dude from that motherland like that, man, and somebody came down there with a doctrine and they destroyed my spirituality, they took my belief system and all that shit, and they fucked up my country, do you really believe that I'll be reading shit from their book, man, practicing it in my life? You just repeating the cycle. So you really a black dude with white man belief systems. That's what it is. That's what I'm seeing a lot in these conscious communities and shit when they talk. They're talking like white people, right? But they just got black skin. Anytime I hear them quotes in that Bible, I'd be like, oh no, hell no. Not to say anything is wrong with Christianity, don't. I know people are sensitive. But these people say that they hate white people. And these people are telling me that they need to get away from the system, but you can't stop your own self from killing yourself, and you calling yourself a god. That's crazy to me. And then what they do, they always have these excuses. Like it seems like they're all gods until they get attacked by a human with some knowledge, with something that's contrary or opposite of what they believe in. That's when they turn into humans. That's when they get all like, mad and angry with it. I'm like, if you're a god, you're supposed to be more loving. You're supposed to be more. You should be mad because I'm asking you questions. You should be mad because I believe in something that's you don't believe in. The fact that you're angry that I don't believe in what you're believing in reminds me of the fucking white people who came down there and colonized Africa. Again, another example. That's what the white people did. If you didn't agree with what their religion was, they talked shit about you and they tried to kill you. And that's what these dudes be doing in these communities, conscious communities, in these tribes. If you don't believe in what they believe in, they try to persecute you like you fucking crazy. You don't even have your freedom of your own thought. And I just don't understand like how everybody is the same. I would never want to be the same as somebody else, ever. Not the same way I think. That's like, okay, if everybody thinks the same, just say somebody gets hurt. Everybody has the same thought process. That means when that person get hurt, nobody's going to have a cure. You feel what I'm saying? It's like that in all those communities. It's like people are damaged, sure enough. People need to get healed. But you know why they don't ever get healed? Because nobody thinks different. Nobody has the medicine to heal them because all them people think the same. That's why none of them people you be hearing, like when they be in them groups like that, they do not get healed because they leaders and shit like that can't heal them and shit at all because he don't have that ability to do it. He's not godlike like that because he's trying to think the same as everybody else. He doesn't have independent thought. He doesn't have freedom of thought. Now the people who do change to be better people and better healers are the people who do it on their own. That's the ones I be seeing that be actually be doing the real healing and is able to come up out of that weird shit that they've been holding on for the majority of their life and shit like that, is the ones who isolate themselves from the rest of those people and pretty much work on themselves, like do real work on themselves and everything like that. So it's just the divine masculine male shit, just to go back to that. No, I kind of like veered off that. But to go back to that, it just don't make any sense to call myself something that is not African. Like it's like right now it's like saying like you should practice African culture and you should practice no other culture because it's bad for you. But you're saying words that were created by a culture that you say you hated. And then you turn around and tell me that words put spells on you. So now it makes me understand even more why none of these dudes ever do anything for the black community. They just like the white people. Like, come on, man. The evidence is out there. You can't name me one of them conscious dudes out there that you see in their own black community. Forget your black community for a second. Not say forget it, but just hold on to yours for a second. They're not even in the black community that they're from helping anybody. You know what they're doing? They're leaving the community and they're going out to the fucking woods to live amongst the insects. And it reminds me of the white people who used to get away from black people when they had the integration shit, right? They used to move out to the suburbs, far away from black people, while black people stayed in the inner city. White people used to stay in the inner city at first because it was closer to downtown, to the business district. But when the integration shit happened, they moved all the way out to the suburbs so they could get away from black people. That's the same thing these spiritual niggas is doing. They moving way out of the fucking their own communities to go live in the woods with the insects and the frogs and the trees and shit. They're fucking hiding you from their responsibilities of helping people in the black community. One of the reasons why, and I talked to some Africans and shit like that, one of the reasons why a lot of them Africans don't fuck with black people in America is because they don't help them. They don't do shit for them. They don't try to do nothing to make their lives better, whatever like that, yet they claim that their ancestors is from there, which is a valid point. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't black people in America actually help those Africans over there right now that they're struggling? What they do is, instead of doing that, they turn around and buy Gucci, Louis, and fuel the American economy, dude. The same American economy and the same system that they say they hate, dude. They don't even have enough discipline to stop doing it, which is sad to me. That's why I don't be believing none of that fucking shit they be talking about, man. Because it's all nothing but words. It ain't really no action. When we talk about the conscious community, and I keep asking people, like, conscious just means you're awake, right? It's just like, just say I was dreaming and I'm conscious. That means I'm awake. I'm just awake. I'm just aware of my surroundings. That is so, a baby does that. A child does that. That's not spectacular, man, because you're awake. What's spectacular is that once you're awake, you create action to change your fucked up condition that you say that you in. And what makes it even more superior of a man or a person is you actually saw that problem. For an example, let's just say police brutality. No, let's not even do police brutality. Let's do something that's more black males can do. Let's say fatherhood. If you're awake and you know about fatherhood, right? You know about what fatherhood is, then you should take the actions of being the best father that you possibly can. But none of these dudes do that. They just know shit, but they don't do anything to change the generational curses inside the ancestry tree. Instead, what they do is they create more motherfucking curses. And they repeat the cycle over and over and over again. And that shit is crazy. And a lot of these dudes who define masculine, they are in polygamy relationships too, right? So I study that shit. And I look at those women over there, and it's a sad thing because most of them women are nothing but sexual slaves and servants. Dude. See, the queens, like the thing is like, okay, when they talk about polygamy, they tell me to go back to the old African ways, right? So I go back to the source all the time, right? I'm going back. It's like I'm going back where you tell me to go in history to learn because I like to learn, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going back to that point in history. You're talking about African polygamy. You're saying like, this is what you do. This is what the Africans used to do. This is how I'm doing. Okay, I study it. But then I look at your shit and I'm like, you don't do it nowhere near them. Nowhere near them. There is no children being born for one. Those African dudes back in them days got those women. Polygamy was about nation building. That's what they be talking. They be like, we're about nation building, blah, blah, blah. But you're not producing any children. No children are being created. Those women were supposed to be sign up for that polygamy in order to have babies, in order to be protected. When they say protect, provide, and all that type of shit, that's to protect the woman and provide for the woman so she can have children. These dudes ain't having no children. They doing a lot of fucking, but no children. Which is basically like damn near blasphemy, though. It's basically a disrespect to their whole ancestry tree to be doing that weird ass shit when you supposed to be doing it a different way. You're not doing it out of purity at all. So that's kind of like crazy to me. And then I look at the women and I'm like, yeah, they sexual slaves and servants. All of them motherfuckers are, man. They don't even have the freedom of their own thought, dude. They can't even have their own empire. They don't even have their own track. Like, this is the thing about the goddess and shit. Like, the goddesses back in the day had their own empires. They had their own transportation. They had their own army, dude. They had their own money, dude. And those gods and those kings, whatever, they linked up with them into an alliance. The woman had her own shit, and the man had her own shit. And it was the goddess of something, right? The goddess of love, the goddess of water, the goddess of the sky, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? These girls now, they just call themselves goddesses, and I can understand why, because you are the goddess of nothing. You're the goddess of nothing. Like, if you want to keep it 100, because you don't even have none of the stuff that the original goddess had, and not even saying you have to, because I believe in revolution, right? So I believe you should have more, but you don't even have more than what they had. Actually, you have less than what the original goddesses had. So I couldn't even say, you can't even use that word no more, dude. You can't attach yourself to that word if you have less than what the original goddesses had. The original goddess had an empire. None of these girls in them polygamy relationships have their own empire. None of them. At all. They don't even have their own army. Them goddesses back in the day, they had their own army. And they had a special gift that they were able to help humanity with. And them girls don't in those polygamy relationships. So I don't understand why they call themselves goddesses. Right? And goddesses is another word that was created by white people. That's not even African either. So I just really do the studying, right? And I don't understand why these people ain't did they studying as well. Like when they be trying to tell me shit, I just be laughing at their fool asses inside, man. I just be like, man, do you really understand what you're doing? You don't at all. You know what I'm saying? And over here, you know what I mean, at DOH and shit like that, dude, we just be like looking at that shit like, how are y'all subservient to these dudes like that don't even know where the fuck they going? You're in a house, you're a prisoner, you're a slave. Anytime you don't have independent of your own freedom of thought, freedom of action, and not be able to get the basic necessities in life for yourself, that's what I'm saying. They talk about knowledge of self. Okay, when you know about yourself, then you know you should have your own car. You should know you should have your own castle, your own house. You should know you should have your own thoughts, right? That's just right there, your own thoughts. So you can't tell me about knowledge of self when you being ruled by another person in their environment, in their house. That means you're a slave. You're not no goddess, man. No, hell no. There's no way I could believe that shit. Not by the definition that they told me. And not by the definition of what the original goddesses of Africa's were. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. So it was all just strange, man. I say death to the divine masculine male. I say off with the heads of them fuckers, man. Because why would you be calling yourself something that white people created? That shit is in the Bible, man. And that Bible is used to colonize your people in Africa. So why would you be listening and reading and learning a doctrine that destroyed your ancestors, is what I'm saying, man. Why would you do that? You know, so that's why I say death to the divine masculine male. All of them should be able to not be calling themselves no more. Because you're giving power to your own destruction. Like that dude who smoked them Black and Miles, man. Like you know that shit kills you. You know plenty of people that died off of tobacco smoke. You know plenty slaves have been used to handle those tobacco farms and shit like that. And the fact that you will put that fucking Black and Mild in your mouth and slowly kill your motherfucking self every motherfucking day, dude. It's not only a dishonor to your ancestors, it's a dishonor to yourself, dude. And you don't even have enough discipline of your own motherfucking self to stop killing yourself, right? You don't. And then you want to tell me how to live my life and shit. Crazy to me, man. So, yeah, I'm just gonna end that like that. I gotta get some sleep. And we'll talk again later.